Hey friend, I thought I'd make a short video today to talk about something that I see a lot in kind of modern diets, and give you some tips for creating a good shift when it comes to your nutrition. So I'll first start out by saying, that while our modern culture has an abundance of choices when it comes to, food, um, on a day-to-day basis, most of us are not getting a huge variety of different foods or food groups or food sources. And I really have gotten passionate about this over the years after doing tremendous amount of study and research, especially on diet and longevity, diet and the microbiome, studying things like the blue zones, if you're familiar with those spots around the world that have the longest living populations, the lowest incidence of disease, and really looking at, what are some of these factors that have created, like I said, better gut microbiome, better resilience, things like this. And honestly, what it comes down to is a diversity of plant foods. So I definitely am a big proponent of plant foods in general. They have all the living nutrients and enzymes and things that our bodies thrive on. But one thing that I notice, especially with people making the shift to maybe a more plant-based diet or just a healthier diet in general, is really getting stuck in a rut and eating the same foods over and over. And I get it because I've done this myself plenty of times. It's very easy to get in a rut with what we eat. We find a small handful of things that we like, and we just make them over and over again. So, and that's okay. If that's where you're at right now with your kind of transition, making choice, bringing in more healthful foods or more whole organic foods, that's awesome. So that's a great place to start. But if you really feel like you are ready to take it to the next level, or you have digestive issues, or just really want to improve your body's resilience and longevity, it's time to think bigger. So when we study kind of some of the ancestral diets, as well as the diets of these people in the blue zones and other, spots of health and longevity, there's a tremendous diversity. So there's diversity in plant foods, not only from a seasonal basis. So these populations always ate by season, right? Which I think a lot of us know intuitively is a good idea. We're eating things from our surrounding natural environments, and for most of us, those fluctuate throughout the year. What's going to be in season and what's going to be most abundant and most ripe. So there's that diversity as far as, throughout the whole year, but also just the diversity of foods in general over the course of, a week or a month. And this is a good point I wanted to remember to make, is that, having a quote unquote balanced meal for every single meal is not exactly as important as we've been taught to believe. So this is something that many of my clients have run into, and they get really hung up on making each meal, completely balanced and having a huge variety at each meal. And that's not actually important. I want you to think of it as more long term. If you're getting a huge variety of foods over the course of, say, 2 weeks or a month, that's really where you want to see the overall balance. So anyway, we're talking about diversity here. Diversity in the diet is so important, especially when it comes to the gut microbiome. So we have a huge population of, bacteria and viruses and yeast and all these things, which is not a negative thing. I want you to hear me when I say that. These are all supposed to be there, and they're supposed to be in certain ratios, and they all have a job to do to help us digest our food and protect our bodies from immunological threat and everything. So how we feed the right bacteria is through that diversity of plant foods. So we're talking about prebiotic and probiotic foods. We're talking about, active enzymes and all these other things that it's really good to have from lots of different sources. So, when you think about whether we're going way, way back to like hunter-gatherer, they're gathering lots of different foods from the environment, especially if they are nomadic tribes, but also just bringing in different types of foods, like, bringing in like the tubers and the root vegetables, but also bringing in leafy greens and bringing in, the sulfurous veggies or brassica family, and not just getting stuck on just like, okay, I have like 3 vegetables that I like and that's all I'm going to eat, which is better than no vegetables, of course, but the diversity in the diet is super, super important over time. So this is something that I definitely recommend to all my clients, but to anybody out there, is to just expand the horizons. Not only try to eat more seasonally, get to know your natural environment where you live, what's in season and when. If you have local, farms or producers that you can get these things from, or if you can grow them yourself, even better. So really getting into the seasonal rhythms of food production is awesome. But also, even if you weren't to eat seasonally, for a lot of us who have, more of the privilege to be able to access a lot of different foods all year round, really take advantage of that. So in an average supermarket, there's probably 100 different types of produce. And the average person, I think, only eats like 11 or 12 of them, which is really sad because we're missing out on not only unique flavors and textures and being able to kind of step outside the box when we learn to cook or prepare these foods, but we're missing out on that, those unique compounds in those plant foods that offer something new to our body, to our cells, to our, microbiota. So I always encourage clients to like go to when you do your weekly grocery shopping, pick one new food that maybe you've never had before, it's been many years since you've had, and bring that in, whether it's a fruit or a vegetable or an herb or spice. This is a really key piece in not only just kind of getting out of the psychological rut of eating, but like I said, for overall health and longevity. So that's my little spiel. I really encourage you to get out of the rut, try some new foods, and again, don't get too worried about making each and every meal balanced with lots of different things. As long as you're getting balance over the course of a month, that's really good. And one quick note, I will say, if you are undergoing some very specific like therapeutic fast or something like that, that's kind of a different thing. So don't worry about that too much. Say you're doing a watermelon fast or a grape fast or something for a few weeks. That serves a specific purpose, right? But that's not going to be your long-term diet forever. You're going to come out of that and introduce a lot more other foods. So yeah, I think that's all I wanted to say, but I think that this is something that a lot of us in our kind of modern culture have lost touch with, is this beautiful natural variety that's in the world of plants that we can eat and that can offer our bodies benefit. So I encourage you and invite you to go to your store this week, find at least one new food that you've never tried or it's been many years since you've had, and start bringing them into your diet. So let me know how it goes. I would love to hear your experiences trying new foods. So drop me a comment below. If you like this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. So stay tuned, everyone, for lots more health and spirituality videos to come. Take care. Until next time. Bye.